I'm a black man. I met Black Sage a couple years ago, and his words blew my mind. He made me realise how much I didn't know. So we linked up and started BMSG. BMSG believes its duty is to improve the black community we belong to by standing on the shoulders of the older generations. BMSG is for the black man who values wisdom, experience, and knowledge.
All my brothers hear me, and I'm BMSG, yeah. If you're feeling like you lost sight, if you're feeling life just ain't right, when you need a little light, it's your survival guide.
Right. Why are you feeling low?
My life has really kind of just changed and really mutated and really halted because of the world events and lockdown, to the point where what was once my passion and still is my passion is now becoming something that's kind of what weighs on my now. You know, you can't do what it is that you love to do, and you know, when you hear that your own government wants you to think about doing what was devoted your whole life to doing, you know, it causes a complete readjustment in your life and mindset. To answer the question, I suppose some days you kind of get to an ellipsis where you kind of don't know how to answer that call.
What do you mean by ellipsis?
When you write in the text, you know, it's kind of like to be continued or to be answered. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month. And so really you just have to take it day at a time.
So the uncertainty, the not knowing.
Yeah. It's the not knowing, and it's also the
disruption.
Yeah, it's the disruption, and also kind of having to just readjust your mind. But also readjusting to a place where you know you can be still yourself.
So you feel like you're not yourself?
Yeah, in a nutshell, is a good way to put it.
So who is you?
Who is me?
Who is yourself?
Fundamentally, you know, I've always been someone that at least loves to travel, all music has always been like my outlet, I suppose. And as a creative, you know, that's been hindered. That is how it has impacted me. The inability to kind of be who I always was, and like the thing that's always kind of motivated me and driven me to be the best that I can be, it's just kind of just boom. It has taken, and it still is taking a long time to kind of find that kind of consistency, to kind of keep that drive and that motivation.
You said something where you said who you were 5 years ago is not who you are today, and you've changed and blah blah blah. How did you manage and remain yourself when you changed 5 years ago to what you were changing to? What mechanisms did you use?
Well, I always had a path. I always kind of knew what I wanted for myself, career-wise, personally, and that's always supposed to kind of kept me on a track. And this year has kind of said, well, maybe that's not actually going to be a potential end result anymore.
What, that you can't set a target and attain it? This year makes you feel like you can't reach.
Yeah.
Willpower. It's like I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like it's a question of willpower sometimes. It feels like there's a weight that's on us a lot of the time, and because it's so heavy, or it feels so heavy, it's a lot harder to just go and do things that we did beforehand.
You've got no solid ground to stand on to carry that weight.
Yeah. I always knew that kind of weight and pressure was always on me, because that's the industry I chose. It's the path that I chose, and I accepted that. But this period has definitely been a test. I've never given up on that dream, but there's just been many times where I had to consider whether this was the right path.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. How do you feel now? Like today, this very moment? How are you feeling? So if you were with a beautiful woman
Yeah.
and you were kissing her,
Yeah.
she was giving the most magnificent kiss of your life ever. Would you be thinking about what you were doing 5 years ago, or what you might be doing 2 years' time, or you'd be thinking about this kiss is amazing? So that feeling, how are you feeling now?
I suppose anxious is the first word that comes to my mind. Uncertain. But
Anxious about what? About the future.
just the future in general.
So you're kissing this fat. This is the girl of your dreams. You're in an entanglement with her. She's got the lip balm on her lips, and she's kissing you.
It's a phenomenal kiss.
It's a phenomenal kiss, and she's smelling like cherries.
Yeah.
It's like cherries, essential oil cherries, and she's got the shape you love, and you're holding her, and she's embracing you,
Yeah.
and she's kissing you for you.
Yeah.
Are you still anxious?
No.
Right. So your mind's there. So you're sat here amongst people you know. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you feeling 10 really, really good? 1, I'm feeling really, really low. How are you feeling right now?
No, I'm not feeling really, really low. I mean, it's always good. It always helps when you're around people that you can be open with. That will immediately make you at least 5. That will always at least elevate you. I don't know, 6, 7.
6 or 7. All right. So you're.
But I don't think I've been. I don't remember the last time I was a 10 or a 9.
That's cool. So it's not a competition.
I know. Yeah.
It's just so I can gauge where you're at.
Yeah.
So you're at home, and you get these thoughts of where you wanted to be, and how lockdown has affected your ability to be there. Right? Do you think you could start thinking about how you're feeling now as a 6 and a 7? Start, instead of thinking about what I used to have, think about that was a great time I had at that house with them people. It was a great time I had at this. It was a great time. Think about all those things that gave you the feeling that made you feel 7 inside. What do you think about that? Do you think that's something you can do?
Yeah, for sure.
Start, instead of thinking about what I used to have, think about that was a great time I had at that house with them people. It was a great time I had at this.
But like I said, there's just some days where it's just
Really low. It's difficult to get the motivation. Is it helping?
yeah.
Medical grade porno. Zone you back into the now. What you know about essential oils? Natural. Everything's natural. Adjust your moods. Tincture you can take, which will balance out hormones.